What is the equivalent of flowers and chocolate, etc. for girls, but for guys? What is the worst movie you've ever seen? What is surprisingly illegal? Is when dropped from the height of 1 foot in the air. This state regulation was the result of devious pickle packers selling a substandard pickles that obviously didn't bounce. Alarming the Queen. Section 49 of the Criminal Code of Canada, sentence of up to 14 years in prison. It is illegal to own more than 6 sex toys in Texas. 5 is okay, I guess, but you're on thin ice. Paying expired parking meters that aren't your spot. Selling cars directly to consumers. The government working for the people has always made it illegal to not use a car dealership. Wait, what? Where? Hello, Texan. Children selling lemonade without a license. Girls who got mustaches tattooed on their finger in 2012. How you doing right now? Still giving myself a mustache ride every night. Hey, whoa, yo. Chilling with the girl who got stars behind their ears in 2014. I did a blacklight tattoo of a mustache on finger in 2007. It's faded and gone. I miss it. I had that finger removed. Mustache still cool though. I'm alright surprisingly. Stopped drinking since then. Got married. About to finish my master's in educational psychology. Teaching now. My students think it's hilarious, so I guess I got that going for me. I'm killing it in life, especially since I'm still wearing my balance bracelet and have yet to fall, and this Friday, I'm seeing the Hunger Games. Oppa Gangnam Style. I feel like as far as early 2000s tattoos go, finger mustache is extremely mild. Did anyone stop Coney in the end? The real Coney was the friends we made along the way. What's the best thing about living alone? When you clean something, it stays clean. After my kids moved out, I just realized how messy those little ferals were. The silence. Not waking up to someone turning the TV on or stomping around before they go to work. Being able to lay alone with your thoughts, it grants you a new level of independence. I know that the weird noises around my house isn't a prank for my family this time. It's 100% a fucking murderer living in my walls. Not having to be constantly mindful of other presence. Not having to shut your door when you go to the toilet. Having the time and space to process your emotions. You can sleep naked. You can also be naked besides when sleeping, but that's just a bonus. I'm impressed with the number of people who want to be naked, not having to hold in your farts. And no one to judge you when you let one rip and it ends up being a chunky one. No. What type of people at work can't you deal with? The obnoxiously loud people who think they're always right, and whenever they do something wrong, they try to push it off on someone else. I work with someone like that. Not at this job though. No one's mean at EmKay. I love the EmKay people. I'm talking about my day job. Micromanagers. The ones who ramble forever about nothing. Listen, lady, I'm either trying to work or trying to enjoy a break. I can't do either very effectively if I have to at you every minute or so for 20 minutes. People who gossip. I don't want the lowdown on anyone. I'm not going to give you the lowdown on me, so just leave me the hell alone. The guy who does no actual work and constantly messes about, but gets away with it because he's funny and a character. He pretends to be a nice guy, but you can see through his act and know he's and a grifter. He knows you know, and he hates you. I'm onto you, Gary. I successfully ejected Gary from my company 3 or 4 months ago. Sounds like he relocated. People in Zoom meetings who won't stop talking. They made their point 5 minutes ago, but they just can't stop babbling on, rephrasing the same things over and over again. It drives me mad. Coworkers who act like they're our boss. The people with completely unchecked anxiety that don't know how to approach anything without panic. I help people do computer stuff for school, and I'm always happy to help people. I'll show you the same thing as many times as we need to go over it for you to be comfortable, but when you come in freaking out, unable to actually listen to what I'm saying, acting as though the sky is falling, it freaks me the fuck out too. Just take a breath, and we'll work through it together. This is often, but not always, coupled with, I just don't get this computer stuff, I'll never figure it out attitude. Men who say sweetheart or any similar word to women. I'm a male, and I was sitting in one guy's office when a woman coworker walked in and handed something. Nope. I'm male, and I was sitting in one guy's office when a woman coworker walked in and handed him some print off, and he said, "Thank you, sweetheart," like it was nothing. If you could instantly learn 3 languages, which would those be, and why? I would pick probably Spanish, Japanese, and what's another good one? I don't know. Maybe Korean. Sounds fun. Mandarin, because China is getting more important on a geopolitical stage. French, because it would give me a massive career advantage in my country. And Japanese, so I could watch Weeb in its original language. 3 ancient languages no one knows how to read. Then again, I guess no one would believe me. Python, Russian, and I suggest learning the 3rd one first. Could even take you just a minute to master it. Japanese, because I'm taking classes and I want to be the best. Spanish, because I feel like it would be useful. And French, because I'm bad at it and I want a redemption arc. I know how to speak 5 languages already, so I'm stuck with what I would like to learn. German, English, and lasagna. Why, you want to talk to Garfield? What's an obscure quote from a TV show that only your fellow diehard fans will no. Normal procedure is to leap 200 feet in the air and scatter yourself over a wide area. Some people juggle geese. I am that guy. George likes his chicken spicy. Lots of planets have a north. It seems to be some kind of Star Trek Voyager. Nailed it. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know any of the shows those lines are from. Someone please tell me in the comments what they are. What's a habit that everyone in their 20s should start now? Exercising, eating healthy, investing. Brush your teeth every night at a minimum. Learn how to cook. Sunscreen and not staying in situations that make you unhappy to please other people. Treat yourself with respect. That's including walking away from others who disrespect you. Learn that at 30. Want versus need. You can budget a lot better if you can place a lot more things in the I just want this but I don't actually need it category. Hang up your clothes when you're done with them instead of throwing them on the floor in a pile. Wear hearing protection when working with noisy equipment at concerts or any other high noise situations. Seriously, one day the ringing won't stop. Hydrate with a glass of water between cocktails. What are some of the craziest baby names you've personally been witness to? Blue and Pinky, brother and sister, their surname is Green. So yeah, Blue Green and Pinky Green. Their dad was dark green. Best friend's cousin named his son Lucifer. Not a joke, wish it was. Coworker grew up with a girl named Kelly. Did the parents really not think about those initials? I was at a park with my nephew last week and a woman started calling for her son to get off the swings. His name was Messiah. That seemed like a lot to live up to. Borderline blasphemous too. Snow White, 9th grade classmate. Had a guy I worked with named Stallion. Stallion is from India. Areola. I know someone who literally named their daughter Areola. I asked, you know what that is, right? And she was like, I know, but the sound of the word is her name, not the meaning. My response? Tell that to her classmates in 5th grade when they won't stop bullying her over her name. Poor kid. Bon Quifa. I didn't hear it, but my friend was behind her at a restaurant. The hostess asked how to spell her name, and she replied, Bon Queef like a fart. Jennifer, or how I see it, Gynifer. Are they Welsh or from a fantasy series? No, that's pronounced Dave. It's French. What are your thoughts on the food known as bread? I fucking love bread. Those are my thoughts. Bake the bread, buy the butter. Am I right? Beautiful. The single best and most satisfying food to exist is freshly baked, warm, crusty bread with salty butter. It's amazing. You can do all kinds of things with it. From making toast to French toast, bread is one of the greatest things ever made. My time in French taught me bread is pain. I would eat an entire loaf of bread right now if you gave me one. I like bread. My favorite bread is garlic bread and rolls. Bread. What statistically rare thing happened to you? When I was a small child, there was a relatively large hurricane that knocked out the power to my neighborhood for a few days. Since we had no electricity, me and one of my friends became really bored and we had to find weird ways of entertaining ourselves. At one point, we walked over to a fenced-off massive transformer substation in our neighborhood and just started chucking rocks at it in frustration. After a few minutes of tossing stones, we heard a loud thunk noise, which was immediately followed by a bunch of people walking out of sight of their homes announcing the power had come back on. Since we were kids at the time, we automatically assumed that we were the ones responsible for getting the power turned back on by randomly throwing rocks at the substation and immediately began bragging to anyone who would listen to us that we were the ones who fixed everything. I won $75,000 on a lottery scratch-off when I was 26. I'm a triplet. One is identical to me and the other isn't. The identical one was unfortunately a stillbirth, so I call my other sister my twin. My older sister is 10 months older than me, so I have an identical twin, a fraternal twin, and an Irish twin. Wait, what's an Irish twin? Siblings born under 12 months apart. They will be the same age at one point during the year for days or weeks. I have a pair of Irish twins. They both will be 3 this year for 4 days. Then my daughter will turn 4, and a set of real twins. I tell people I have 2 sets of twins and leave the Irish part out, but they all look so much alike. I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. It was wild. I could pop my arms out of their shoulder socket and then pop them back into place. It doesn't really hurt. It's like cracking my knuckles when I do it. I was picked up by the wind on one side of the street by the wind and dropped on the other side. How small are you? I beat all the other sperm cells to the egg. Which cheese is the best cheese in the world? Free. The best. Cheddar, for sure, most versatile. The older, the better. All of it. I have spoken. Thank you, buddy Cheesus. Gouda. Smoked Gouda. Don't leave me around a block of Parmesan because I have no shame or self-control. Gruyere. It's the good part of fondue, and it's fucking delicious. Gruyere gang. Red Dragon cheese. This smooth, firm, tasty cheddar is made with Welsh brown ale and mustard seeds. Red Dragon is a buttery and spicy cheese with plenty of bite. It's not too hot. Not only do the mustard seeds give Red Dragon its marvelous flavor, but also its texture. And the brown ale makes the cheese moist and tangy. Red Dragon is aged for 3 months, made from cow's milk, and is vegetarian. Serve as a table cheese or melt it on toast with dark ale. Or try a Shiraz if you prefer wine. Slap a bit of this on a burger, and you don't need any condiments. Bit pricey though if you get the name brand stuff. Trader Joe's sells it under the name mustard and ale cheddar cheese. Mozzarella. What are your thoughts when you look at yourself in the mirror naked? Don't even get me started. I'm gonna throw up. I look like shit. I choose not to do that for a reason. Everybody in this mirror store is looking at me funny. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Damn, I'm a good looking piece. I am. I look fucking hot. Ugh, not bad. Could be worse. I need to lose weight. I'm still sexy though. Yes. Hot is a mentality, not a body type. What's a video game that you stuck to playing almost solely? Why and how many hours? Here we go, Mason. I'm gonna say the P word. If I could track over the years how many hours I spent playing Pokemon, it would be a lot. Fallout New Vegas, over 1,000 hours. I have 1,000+ hours in Splatoon 2. It's fun and colorful. Been playing Rocket League since 2016 and have logged 3,400 hours. The game is very mechanical and has absolutely no skill cap, and you can't cheat in Rocket League, which is a plus. Animal Crossing New Horizon, 385+ hours. My secret joy and shame. I watched my girlfriend play this game. I don't understand how anyone enjoys it. It looks so damn boring, and when she told me she had to wait a real life day for something to unlock, I questioned why they would implement such a stupid mobile game mechanic to it. This guy's fun at parties, I bet. Good lord. Guitar Hero 3, the entirety of summer 2008. Minecraft. I don't know how many hours, but it's a lot. What would be the scariest message humanity could receive from outer space? The simulation will end in 10, 9, 8. Your planet has been scheduled for demolition in 3 rotational cycles. Please commence your evacuation procedures as soon as possible. Please, if there's anyone out there, help us. Prepare to be harvested. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. We are coming to take back what's ours. We've let you play around long enough. We may keep a few of you as pets. Life as you know, it is over. We'll be there shortly. You up? Smirk emoji. What's a beautiful way to tell someone that you love them without using words? Bend your pee-pee into the shape of a heart. Rather not go to the hospital. Also, never mind. I'm not making that joke. This is a family-friendly channel. Bring them a dead rat you caught. When I stop to buy gas, I'll get my GF a slushie when I go in to pay if she's in the car with me. Pocket sand and run away. Food. Step 1. Cut a hole in the box. Step 2. Put your junk in that box. Step 3. Make them open the box. And that's the way you do it. Is my dick in a box? What's something that got insanely popular or trendy, but you never understood why? Teeth filing. Planking. The cinnamon challenge. That was dangerous. Andrew Tate. God, I hope he stays away forever. Butt implants and lip injections. Yeezys. They're so ugly. The shoe looks like slippers, and the slippers look like something f***ed up while 3D printing a slipper. TikTok. Putting aside the whole sketchy data farm thing for a second, I'll never understand the appeal of short-form video over decent YouTube content. Some people don't have the attention span, like me. What's one American thing that non-Americans do better? Coke. As in cola. You could have just said Coca-Cola. I'm pretty sure Americans are the only ones f***ing it up with corn syrup. Honestly, probably the American dream. This is because most Americans don't realize that they're living an American dream. Last week I took an Uber in Vegas. This man was clearly not wealthy. He told me he had come up from Cuba and started to tear up thinking about the American dream. Driving an Uber in the nastiest city in America. Most of us don't realize how good we have it. That's absolutely includes me. Freedom. Let's be real. Most Americans are trapped in a hamster wheel. Tax evasion. Dates. This reply was made by Day, Month, Year Gang. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Just about every other first world country does this better. Will Smith, is that you? Smack. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Which jobs or professions will not be taken over by AI? Any job that requires building relationships and maintaining them. I don't know if AI can ever get the nuance of human interaction. It's the problem Data faced throughout Star Trek, TNG. Tech support. It actively resists any attempts to get more customer friendly. Priest. On a long enough timescale, all of them could be taken over. But there's good news. We are far more likely to wipe ourselves out as a species before we get to that point. Yay! Job security. Nursing, I hope. I don't know. I'd like a Baymax in my life. Politicians. Sigh. I would vote for the first AI president. Paperclip theory. Philosophers have speculated that an AI tasked with a task such as creating paperclips might cause an apocalypse by learning to divert ever-increasing resources to the task, and then learning how to resist our attempts to turn it off. The job of a father. That's what a TV is for. The electronic babysitter and a good gaming console. What comes to your mind when you think of England? How I love to make fun of British people. I love making fun of the British. It's Tuesday. Knit. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Pubs. The Queen. BBC. Big Black. What the No, you dumb. BBC is an abbreviation for British Broadcasting Company. English. Beans on toast. Dizzy Rascal. I don't know what that is. What song makes you instantly turn up the volume to max? Life is a Highway. Running in the 90s. Mo Bamba. One More Time by Daft Punk. Linkin Park. Numb. Bohemian Rhapsody. 100%. None. I will listen to the volume where I can enjoy the song well. Don't want to destroy my eardrums. Also, hearing myself humming along to the song or even singing along is nice. Waves by Kanye West. I literally feel like I'm floating. What is the secret about you that your mother would be shocked to know? I got a arrested while on holiday in Austria, age 16, and spent the night in the police station and never told my folks. My ex video history. Damn, I'd have to agree. Thankfully, incognito mode is a thing. I'm curious how much of these the parents actually do know, but the Redditors don't know. We did, in fact, start the fire. I'm not her biological child. Same. I'm not her biological child either. It was me who stole the liquor. I'm adopted. That would definitely be a shock for your mother. I don't think my transphobic mother would like it if she found out I preferred they/them pronouns. What thing just won't die, no matter how much people want it to? Mosquitoes, they need to f*** off. The hype around the Kardashians. Can we as a society just ignore them all, please? I love to imagine the scenario where Kylie Jenner posts a pic and gets 15 likes and has a meltdown. War. And even worse, Twitter. That one TikTok song that goes, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Influencers. What conspiracy theory actually turned out to be true? MK Ultra, CIA mind control project. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Bush lied. The Holocaust, as it was a conspiracy at the time, even to most Germans, that tech companies and most manufacturers built products with obsolescence in mind to force customers to have to upgrade or buy the newest version of that product. Free Britney. I remember reading something about Apple purposely slowing down older model phones so people would buy new ones. No, they tweaked the firmware so phones with older batteries ran a little slower to extend battery life. If anything, it probably led people to put off upgrading their phones because a short battery life is more noticeable than a slightly slowing of the processor. Vaccine passports were originally laughed at and called a conspiracy theory. Now, they're required in Canada, New York, and other places. OP is a reptilian. What's the lowest spice tolerance you've ever seen? My mom thinks mayo is spicy. My friend's wife used to get upset with her mother-in-law for using too many spices in her food and how unbearable her cooking was. My friend's mom was an Italian and an awesome cook. The unbearable spices were basil, oregano, and a little sugar to take the acidity out of her tomato sauce. DJ Khaled. He was 100% a kid who would only eat chicken fingers. To be fair, we're all quite aware of what he won't eat. Someone claimed the guacamole was too spicy because it had onions in it. Lol, my mom. I put 2 tablespoons of paprika in a pot of soup and she thought it was too hot for her. I joked that flour is too spicy for her. My sister has absolutely zero tolerance to any spice. The tiniest sprinkle of black pepper makes her cough and heave. She struggled with Old Bay dry rub on chicken wings. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I used to dice up scorpion peppers and mix them into burger patties. My sister said McDonald's ketchup packets were spicy. My wife won't even salt her food when cooking. Everything she cooks tastes so bland. I do most of the cooking. What would happen if every male in the world suddenly became gay? There would be a steep rise in prostate orgasms. Alex Jones would have an absolute mental breakdown. The frogs were just a warning. I would become double gay. Gay squared. It would be a pain in the ass. More like a pleasure in the ass. Some say the two are interchangeable. Warehouses full of plaid golf pants would go to waste. Catastrophic population decline. Peace for women. What's the best way to end? I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. My boyfriend is. Ryan Reynolds. That was a lie. I totally am. But your dad sure looks juicy. I'm voting for dicks and butts. Dried apricots are a good source of potassium. The cancellation of which TV show are you still frustrated about? Hannibal. I really wanted to see them adapt Silence of the Lambs, especially as season 3 started playing around with Red Dragon and Hannibal, the sequel. Rome. It was canceled after 2 seasons because the production costs were too high. Almost Human. It had such potential and never even finished its first season. Shown Out of Order on Fox, which even then had a very poor track record for sci-fi shows. Didn't help that it was a beautiful attempt at a buddy cop series with a disgruntled and grizzled cop with amnesia, PTSD, and addiction issues. Partner with an empathetic and persecuted android that felt emotions stronger than the main character. A great cast that all seemed to fit and enjoy their roles. Edit free to watch on Tubi TV. I really want the 3rd season of Mindhunter. Left off on such a cliffhanger. Better Off Ted. Was ahead of its time, IMO. Dead Like Me. I find it funny that 3 of the top 5 are all Brian Fuller shows. Pushing Daisies, Hannibal, and Dead Like Me. I'm not okay with this. On Netflix. Marco Polo on Netflix. Loved that era of history and I thought it was a top watch. Dark Matter. What is not illegal, but would definitely get the cops' attention? Geocaching. Especially for adults. Adults searching through locations or looking under benches has gotten some questions from police. And geocachers are retrieving or hiding containers has even sometimes gotten the bomb squad involved. Running with a weighted vest on. I've been stopped by several cops in my lifetime for this. They say it looks like body armor. Shaping your trash bags like a human and suspiciously taking it out at 3 a.m. Chief, I think there was a dead body in there. I thought that too. Until he said yard trimmings. You gotta learn to listen, Lou. Walking around blatantly flashing huge bags of oregano and catnip at the corner of the street, yelling, "Get ya herbs here. Hey man, can you hook me up with some chives?" Suddenly sprinting after locking looks with them. Waving at a cop and calling them to come to you. r/technically the truth. Loudly talking to pigeons. Yeah, I can see that. You mean government drones? r/birds aren't real. Attaching a donut to a string and throwing it at them whilst pulling the donut away to taunt them. Someone actually got arrested arrested for that. I just got out of prison for that. What's a controversial topic no one wants to discuss, but needs to? Whistleblowers are punished more than those who commit crimes. The foster care system and mental health care system for children is hopelessly broken, and at this point is probably doing more harm than good. I was briefly in foster care as a child, and I work in the field now. It's not good, guys. Euthanasia. The Western USA is losing water fast. Very fast. Even here in the Midwest, we've had a trend lately of having one huge downpour and then absolutely nothing for weeks. Tribalism. It's part of our evolutionary adaptation to be social and help us forge bonds with other humans, but it gets taken way too far in too many ways. That jobs that pay the least are usually more exploitive and demanding than better paying jobs. Building more nuclear energy plants. It's the only clean form of energy that's actually sustainable because it can run in any time of day or year or weather. Most of the reason people are afraid it is due to misinformation. Gamers. Who's the best video game villain in your opinion? I am dying to see what the answers to this one are. EA Electronic Arts. Dagoth Sovereign. We impose order on the chaos of organic evolution. You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it. GLaDOS. Oh hi, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato. The Rain in Breath of the Wild. Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Funny, charming, powerful, completely psychotic, but illustrated perfectly how from his POV, he was the good guy. The Z-shaped block in Tetris. That thing. There's never a spot for it. The Grave Mine from the Halo series. Full-on cosmic horror that becomes more unimaginably powerful the more beings it consumes. There's heaps of lore surrounding it as well that dates back millions of years in universe. Not to even mention the sick way it looks and talks. I am a monument to all your sins. Arthas, the Lich King in World of Warcraft. 80s and 90s kids. Who are some celebrities of the time that 2000 kids probably have never heard of? Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Emilio Estevez. Even though they all know about his brother Charlie Sheen. Anybody remember the kid Aaron Carter? Paul Hogan, aka the Crocodile Dundee. Bobcat Goldthwait. Puck. LOL. That guy was so easy to hate that he was good entertainment. Pee Wee Herman. I work with high school students and was talking with one about The Nightmare Before Christmas, her favorite movie. I told her one of the Oogie Boogie Boys is voiced by Pee Wee Herman. Who? What was the most insane lie a significant other told you? That the baby was mine. Funny. For me it was, don't worry, it's not yours. It was that he didn't like honey when he did. It's insane to me because what's the point? She was kicked out of her house and stayed with me for a while. Then she said she was staying at a girlfriend's house, but was really at her ex's. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but years after splitting, I feel like her niece was actually her daughter. Don't worry about the other guy. He was from Ireland, and he always used to fake an Irish accent around me. It was pretty good. Took me a couple weeks to realize something was off. That she loved me. No, she loved the fictitious character in her mind that she wanted to mold me into. That she was an orphan. Her family was very surprised. That she had waited 3 hours at the nail salon when she only left the house an hour ago. That there was spaghetti waiting for me when I get back. There was no spaghetti waiting for me. What kind of person could you never ever be friends with? Meaning, what is a personality trait you irrationally can't stand? Victim mentality. Everything is everyone else's fault some other way or another. It leads back to someone else being the problem. No such thing as consequences, logic, or even cause and effect. It simply doesn't exist for them. They're absolutely unbearable. Someone that feels entitled to everything. People who first insult a person behind his back, then smile at him and say compliments. I insult my friends to their faces, then say nice things behind their back. As it should be. People that distort what you said. I can't hang with people that always have to be where the action is. Some folks just need to dial back their eagerness to blend in. Conversation happening? They have to be a part of the discussion. New fashion trend budding? They owned a full outfit yesterday. Party tonight? 100% going. Given enough time, those people are insufferable. I irrationally can't stand people who irrationally can't stand people. Funny, I can't stand people who irrationally can't stand people who irrationally can't stand people. It sounds rational. People who try to get you to pity them for attention and then do nothing to help themselves. It's not a personality trait, but I hate that thing where people talk, their voices go up the end, like they're asking a question. So I was at the work the other day, and they told me to go clean a mess? It was disgusting. I hate that place so much. I don't know, Barbara, do you hate it? Are you there? Do you even know? I'm guilty of doing that sometimes. But then again, I'm a dumb so who knows? I could never be friends with someone who doesn't like music. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that someone does not like music. Like, what do you do in the car or when you're working out? Makes no sense to me. I love music. I talk about how much I love music all the time, but there are some times where I'm like, I don't want to fucking listen to music. So I'll put on like a podcast, like a D&D podcast. And if anyone else agrees with me, put in the comments what D&D podcast you listen to. I like Just Roll With It. It's my favorite D&D podcast I've ever listened to. I really enjoy it. What did people do in the 90s? Went to Blockbuster to rent a movie. We danced and made mixed cassette tapes for our friends. Sat next to the radio with a finger hovering over the record button to try and save your favorite song. Then yelling when the DJ spoke over the top of the song. Played N64 with friends or hung outside and rode our bikes. We used to play outside unsupervised a lot. It wasn't uncommon for us to just be out till dinner time. We just stood around waiting for the next millennium to start. I took care of my Tamagotchi. I had several Tamagotchis growing up in the 2000s. I was born in 1998, so I'm technically a 90s kid, but I definitely do not remember anything about the 90s. So Tamagotchis are fun. I have the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 Tamagotchi. What's a movie that's wholeheartedly, genuinely worth watching? Spirited Away. My favorite animated movie is Spirited Away. I will watch it if you haven't seen Spirited Away, go watch it. I know it's on HBO Max, so if you have it, watch it there. A Knight's Tale. The original Arthur. Such a lovely and funny movie. Yes, it has sad moments, but the overall message, music, quotes, wit, comedy, it is entirely worth it and easily one of my favorite movies. Paddington 2. It's my definition of a perfect movie, and that I think pretty much anyone who watches it can find something they enjoy. Also, Hugh Grant is utterly brilliant throughout. Lord of the Rings. I watched the trilogy at least 30 to 40 times in my life, and I still cry at many different scenes. Hope the TV series will be good. Shawshank Redemption. Forrest Gump. Little Miss Sunshine. What's the worst thing you can say to someone at a funeral? At least oh no! At least little coffins are cheaper. You'll see them again soon. Guess you're single now, eh? Winky. They had it coming. What's up, guys? Welcome to my unboxing video. I didn't really like them that much anyway. Are you excited for the show? They're in a better place. What celebrities are actually down to earth and just good people? Someone's gonna say Dolly Parton. It's in every single time I read something like this. Dolly Parton's always in it. It sounds cliche, but probably the ones you don't hear about. The fact that you don't know a ton about their opinions and private life makes me think they aren't narcissistic, obnoxious people. Robin Williams was a great guy. Never heard one bad word about Weird Al. Paul Rudd. 10 out of 10. Would buy him a beer. Had breakfast with Alice Cooper. He asked me to sit with him one morning as I walked past. I initiated the conversation, saying he looked like Alice Cooper. He was like, because I am him. I was at work and he asked if I was busy. If not, if I wanted to have breakfast. He asked me so many questions about myself. One of my favorite run-ins with a celebrity. Katy Perry was super fun to hang with while they were filming American Idol, and Lady Gaga was also great to talk to when she stayed where I work. Keanu Reeves. Try and find one person out there who hates this man. It's not possible. I met a lot of celebs in a couple of my previous jobs. The nicest was Shakira. What an absolute angel. I couldn't say the same about her entitled mother. Isn't Shakira in trouble for tax fraud? Danny DeVito. Dave Grohl. Halle Berry. My brother stopped by her old Wisconsin home to install some stereo equipment. She made them cookies and visited the whole time. See, she said she loves to bake, but can't eat any of it due to her job. What fact have you made peace with? You can't help some people. Some people don't care as much about me as I care about them. That's okay. I'll be there if they need me, but I also have to be okay with taking care of myself because not many would show up for me. I will die. Companionship does not always come from a romantic partner. It can be friends, family, or complete strangers as well. My dog is a better companion than most people. Not everyone will like you. I can't remember who said it, but I heard this somewhere. You can be the sweetest peach on the tree, but some people just don't like peaches. Even if you're right, you will never really win an argument on the internet that I'll be alone forever. At the end of the day, nothing is guaranteed, and there's nothing I can do about it. My hands and feet are sweating near constantly. That there are some people so far beyond reasonable that it's not worth anyone's time to try to educate them. I rather spend my life setting a good example and talk to those who are receptive. What supposedly common thing has never happened to you? I've never eaten a pear. You're missing out. Pears are a top tier fruit. Jury duty. Is that common? I've never been to a party and never been drunk. I'm also 27. Well, you're old, so sorry. Never been on a date. I'm 31 years old and I've never been to a funeral. By choice or by luck? By luck. I've been eating Taco Bell somewhat regularly for the better part of 3 decades and have never gotten the runs after eating it. Never broken a bone, although I'm not sure if that's common. You are strong of bone. Please leave all those brittle boned and join us at r/neverbrokeabone. I've never gotten a nosebleed. I've never gotten a brain freeze. I've never been to a concert. I've never held a baby. And at 30, I'm scared I'll drop or hurt them. I really just don't want to. Stung by a bee, I've swatted and killed many and yet to actually be stung. Everyone around me seems to have this huge fear and thinks I'm crazy. Never had a tooth cavity or a filling. Same. I'm 34 and haven't gotten one yet. I've never died. What's something that seems common for people of your gender but you've never experienced? I've never been harassed. I've never had people be weirded out with me around kids. Even had a 5-minute convo with a kid in Walmart about sharks once. Only thing her mom did was scold her about stop bothering people before apologizing to me and walking off with her. I didn't mind. Sharks are cool. How to put my hair in a bun. Like, how the f*** do you do it? Did I miss a class? Discomfort while wearing bras. A lot of girls I know are always dying to take them off, but weirdly, I prefer wearing them and rarely am without one on. The desire to wear makeup or get your nails done. I just never saw the appeal and I can't stand the feeling of makeup on my face. Braids. Jeebus. How do you people braid their hair so intricately? Friend zone. I always clarify my intentions if I'm interested in someone or make sure the other person that I am not interested in them romantically. I have few very close friends from opposite gender where they know I won't start acting weird all of a sudden and mess up whole friendship. Period cramps. Getting into fights. Shaving my whole body. Getting an outfit put together. I always look like roadkill 24/7. What is the happiest song you've ever heard? Has to be Mr. Blue Sky by Electric Light Orchestra. Hard to beat Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. Pure happiness. There's this song. There's tons of clapping. They get repeating a word. It's on the tip of my tongue. Pharrell Williams sings it. Golly, I just can't remember the name. The Carpenters. Top of the World. Call Me Al by Paul Simon. The lyrics are about a man having a midlife crisis. Wake Me Up Up Before You Go by Wham, You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall & Oates, or Tidal Wave by Sugar Cubes, Venga Boys, We Like to Party, Celebration by Kool and the Gang. I love that song. Okay, is there a bot that can take all of these and make me a Spotify playlist? What weird thing did you catch someone doing when they thought no one was looking? I still remember sneaking into my little brother's room late one night to scare him, and instead I found him under the covers with a flashlight and crept in right as he yelled, "It's a toaster." I still have no idea what the f he was doing, but I still vividly remember it. "You're a toaster, Harry." I was at the bus station and there was a couple beside me. When the girl wasn't looking, the guy started picking his nose, and then I saw him secretly rubbing it on her back while he was pretending to comfort her. On a hot weekday, a guy and his dog entered a downtown church open for visitors. Thinking no one was watching, he let his dog drink at great length from the holy water font. So what you're saying is all dogs do go to heaven. I used to work as a security guard and would catch people doing weird stuff on the cameras when they thought they were alone. Usually people stealing stuff or doing sex stuff. The weirdest thing I remember was a lady that used her finger to clear the wax out of her ear, which isn't too weird, but then she started but then she licked it clean. That was an M. Night Shyamalan level twist ending. In the morning at a cheap department store at the socks and underwear section, I ran into two female middle-aged employees, one of who was pulling up her skirt and showing the other her black, intricately patterned stocking when I walked in on them. I was embarrassed and they laughed. Caught a roomie who thought they was home alone, dancing in the kitchen and singing in a thick, foul Russian accent, "Lots of butter, lots of cheese and butter, make me pleased." Probably a really bad Russian accent, but I try my best. I once saw a girl taking a photo of her own butt with the flash on. She then proceeded to inspect the photo for 10 seconds or so. I was the only one noticing, probably, but man, that was weird. Before you ask, no, I wasn't watching her butt. I just saw the flash and turned around to see where it came from. What conspiracy do you think might actually be true? Someone in the US government killed Epstein. That's absolutely true. Toothbrush heads are deliberately oversized to make you use more toothpaste. Princess Diana, 100% she was murdered. I don't give a f*** what you think. It was so clearly a murder. Like, come on. The paparazzi followed her for the entire time there, but suddenly there was no one to witness it. She traveled around in an armored car, but days she had an old crusty car with no protection. One of the busiest tunnels didn't have any cars in there to witness it. The driver was tested for drugs and alcohol and it came back negative, but yet they said he was on them. She rumored to be carrying this guy's baby, and the royal family weren't too happy about it. Like, motive. This is so obvious. You can't even deny it. China is using TikTok to gather a ton of information. Netflix marketing team releases memes about shows to give off the appearance that everyone is watching said show. Since people have FOMO, they watch the shows to understand the memes until everyone eventually does watch it. That far too many officials in the US government have been colluding with one another to gain greater control over the populace over the most recent decades. Too much is covered up or not covered by the media that should be a legitimate concern, such as the number of food processing plants being burned down, or the fact that no one has ever been arrested in relation to Epstein Island, that the Tasmanian tigers are not extinct and the Australian government is protecting them somewhere in the outback. I mean, it's massive, and there have been farmers reporting sights of them, but government shuts it down immediately. The US government 100% killed Martin Luther King. I haven't been thoroughly convinced simulation theory is not true. What is your favorite scent? Petrichor, gasoline. Don't worry, I'm not like a drug addict or anything, but when I fill up my motorcycle, it's just like, I'm sure someone could relate. The ocean, a new car. The air a moment before a summer storm hits. Clean laundry, campfire or pine. Basil. Cherry blossom. What are you supposed to be doing right now instead of scrolling Reddit? Well, that is what I'm supposed to be doing, bestie. I get paid to do this. My job, sleeping. You're not my dad, so stop judging me. I'm not supposed to be working. You're supposed to be working. My damn homework. I've taken 10 quizzes, watched 3 hours worth of lecture, and 50 pages of reading in the past 24 hours. I'm exhausted. Best part, not even close to done, just barely getting finished on time. Sleeping, maybe drinking water and eating something healthy. Teams call, gardening, anything else. What's the best TV show that only got one season? Firefly, Freaks and Geeks, Watchmen. I don't think the door is 100% closed to doing another season, but it seems slimmer and slimmer now that 3 years have passed without a pickup, and showrunner Damon Lindelof seemed uninterested in returning to it. Limitless. Loved every second of that show. Summer Heights High. Everything sucks. My so-called life. Chernobyl. What's your favorite video game and why? GTA 5, because I can live my criminal empire dreams. Minecraft. It's nostalgic, although I'm finna move on soon because Microsoft is destroying it. BioShock. The best immersion I've felt. The Sims. I like building houses, coming up with storylines and playing them out. Styling my Sims. It's just so much fun. Paper Mario. The Thousand-Year Door. Building upon the original 64 game, it improved upon in pretty much every way. It was the lightning in a bottle that the devs couldn't catch again, until arguably the Origami King. Its writing and gameplay have so much charm that I find myself coming back to replay it annually. What is the worst movie you've ever seen? I watched The Room by Tommy Wiseau too much to say that I don't hate it. It's too funny for me. Recently I watched Catwoman with Halle Berry and everything is bad. My god, it's torture from beginning to end. The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. Dragon Ball Evolution. The Emoji Movie. I went to watch it in theaters expecting a so bad it's good experience, but it ended up getting the so bad it's bad experience instead. The Last Airbender. I felt physically sad after watching that in theaters pictures back in 10th grade. Finding Jesus. It's a god-awful religious Finding Nemo ripoff. Jupiter Ascending will forever haunt me. So bad, but so beautiful. Sausage Party will forever be my most hated movie. I loathe it entirely. As far as a well-made mainstream movie, Suicide Squad. What's the equivalent of flowers and chocolate, etc. for girls, but for guys? 100% cis male here. I would be stoked as a if my girl bought me flowers and chocolate, beef jerky, literally any gift. Legos. It's Lego, you barbarian. Tools and gadgets. What is something considered weird in the USA, but is normal to the rest of the world? Bidets. People make fun of mine. Joke's on them. My asshole is way cleaner than theirs. Soda without ice. Soda instead of soft drink. Not refrigerating eggs. Day, month, year. The metric system. Paying to use a public restroom. Hey, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.